What's going on, hooligans? It's your boy M Speed, and I'm going to go ahead and do a quick rundown on my in-between bash sessions and just general tune-up parameters I go through, checking nuts and bolts, checking bulkheads, and then I'm going to go ahead and try the WD-40 trick and see how that does, if it reacts like it used to with the Traxxas plastics. So I'm going to go ahead and soak the stock A-arms and everything like that overnight before the BMX track bash session. Also, I will be doing a pinion gear change to the high-speed pinion, and I'm going to Loctite it and let it sit overnight before we take it out and bash it tomorrow. Anyways, gents, I'm going to take you along and show you guys, not step by step, but just a quick overview on how I go over everything. Okay, gents, I generally am just going to be checking the bulkhead right here for any cracks. I'll be checking the shock shafts, shocks for any bends. I'm going to be checking all the fasteners to make sure they're secure on both sides. I'm going to remove the tires. I'm going to check the ball ends and sockets on the inside here for tolerances on the front and on the back. I'm going to make sure these rods are square on both sides. I'm going to pop the tires off and rotate them into the front. I'm going to inspect this rear bulkhead. I'm going to inspect the play on these center shafts, see if they're adjustable. I'm going to check down in here. And then after all the inspections, everything's said and done, I'm going to go ahead and swap out the pinion down here to the high-speed gear pinion. All right, let's go. Okay, to start with real quick, if you don't know what you're looking for, or if this is a new RC for you, there's a maintenance guide. This one happens to be starting on page 22, and it shows you everything that you should be basically looking for and the tools that you'll need to do it right here. I'm going to show you on here, give you a basic rundown real quick. You're going to be checking all the friction surfaces. You're going to be checking the ball lines. You're going to be checking the drive shafts for bends. You're going to be checking the shock shafts for bends, shock shafts for play. You're going to be checking to make sure shock shaft's not leaking. If so, why is it leaking? You're going to check all the bolts and nuts securing the A-arm. You're going to check the hinge pin braces for tightness. You're going to check back here the steering arms, steering rods, all this for tightness on all four corners. Once you get done with that, then you can proceed to lubing it and prepping it for the next bash out, as long as everything is in order. Another thing that doesn't get talked about enough, checking your tires, your tire glue, your seams and everything for rips and tears on both sides. Checking the wear patterns on the tires to make sure, see if you got to rotate them. It may make a difference in how your truck drives. I'm going to rotate them this go around. Also, checking the shock braces, checking them for play, checking the motor mount side here when I go ahead and swap out the pinion gear, checking the shaft in here to see it's square, checking these two braces, these two mounting points, the body points back here, checking the spoiler and wheelie bar on the back here, flipping it over and inspecting the hinge pins and the flatness of the chassis. That's just the basic go over between, I take it in between my mild bashing and my more hardcore bashing to see what the damage, if any, is between the two. As I'm going over this real quick, I just figured I'd mention it. Just as a reminder, guys, this is a heavy mass going at a high rate of speed. These not only are just checks to make sure performance is optimum, but also checks to make sure that everything is in safe working order, just to make sure the hobby is safe, because this could really take something out and cost you a lot of money in the long run. So be sure these 15 minutes could save you in the long run, big time. Well, guys, not everything's going as planned. The top motor mount bolt right here is not stripped, but it is starting to get round when I tried to take it off. It is super tight. I'm gonna have to heat it up, and I just don't have time to do that. So I went ahead and snugged everything back up, and I'm still gonna run the stock spur tomorrow at the BMX track, and we'll just see what we can do. Maybe heat it up and knock it off while we're bouncing around out there. Okay, gents, once you go ahead and get the inspection done, everything greased up, everything lubed up, as you can see here, everything's nice and free, suspension rolls nice, gear mesh is nice. Go ahead and charge up your batteries and go have a blast. Then until next time, gents, this is M-Speed. Keep it motorified.